Europe's leaders have largely signed off, amid some acrimony, a new treaty on budget deficits and agreed a permanent rescue fund to tackle the debt crisis. But a deal to cut Greece's debts are still days away, and Portugal's borrowing costs are now rocketing. In a moment, we'll get the views of our two extremely well-informed guests. But first, this report from Philip Lasker.
A picture of European unity, which didn't reflect the reality as EU leaders met in Brussels to agree to a fiscal compact.
We're not in this treaty, we're not part of it, we're not bound by it, we don't have to ratify it.
Importantly, the economic basket cases like Greece and Portugal, which threaten to undermine the Eurozone, will be part of the treaty, imposing tougher fiscal rules on governments.
We certainly welcome the completion of the fiscal compact treaty. It's the first step towards a fiscal union. It certainly will strengthen confidence in the euro area.
But undermining that confidence are a host of uncertainties. Among them, the French presidential election outcome, the extent to which countries are willing to sacrifice their sovereignty, and German resistance to boosting the size of the financial firewall to prevent a disaster. And there are also concerns that the agreed austerity cure for the sick Eurozone might perpetuate the illness.
I think it is very important that we don't forget the growth and the jobs. Everything starts and ends with growth and jobs.
It might also start and end with Greece and Portugal. There are fresh doubts about Portugal's economic health, while European governments are heading towards confrontation over a second rescue package for Greece, frustrated by its economic management and the extent of its debt write-downs.
We had a meeting and there was no decisive move.
Despite the paralysis, the International Monetary Fund, which is fretting over Europe, isn't fretting over Asia.
Yes, Europe is a big place where trade goes from Asia, but there's enough ammunition to basically cut rates and keep Asia fairly robust.
According to the IMF, the big players like China and India have the means to stimulate their economies.
I think the other thing that's important in China is the leadership all changes. So they're going to make sure that the first year of the new leadership is not going to be the year that China goes into a recession.
Interest rate cuts in Australia have lifted confidence, according to the latest NAB business survey, but that didn't stop the bank from downgrading this year's growth forecast to 3.75% from over 4%. It's as a result of falling inflation and the inevitable fallout from Europe.
You're seeing employment weakening, you're seeing capital expenditure coming down, and you're seeing expectations for the next 12 months coming down as well.
And you'll probably be seeing lower interest rates in the near future.